Yeah.
Alright, soldiers, there is an enemy fortification 100 yards in that direction. On my command, we will run to it like the devil is chasing us. 3, 2, 1, go! We're taking heavy fire. I'm gonna call in a helicopter using this melodic resonance device. Is it working? I have no other choice but to deploy the tactical spatula. Oh shit. Hey folks.
Hello.
Today we're gonna show you how we made this post-apocalyptic guitar. We have 1 day to do it while filming, so that's gonna be exciting. Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, so the base of this build is this assemble it yourself guitar kit provided to us by Thomann. Thanks to them for providing it to us. So after we assembled it, following the instructions, we have added a lot of random junk to it. And this is not a how do we make this exact guitar build video. On my channel it never is. It's all about improvisation, so you find some random junk and you use your wits to assemble it into a post-apocalyptic prop. So yeah, do that, find some junk. Inside of that package there was a lot of plastic snake.
Die, plastic snake! Die, die! Die, plastic snake!
While we were filming this, a mailman rang on the door, so I decided to accept the package as I was.
Guten Tag.
Hallo. Schönen guten Tag.
Ich bin das Gesetz.
Tschüss. Danke.
I said, I'm the law.
So assembling the whole thing, following the instructions was, well, just that. And then it looked like this.
So we're ready now for with getting it all together, and now the fun part begins.
Yeah, let's scavenge some parts from the crate right here. It's full of junk. And let's see what fits the guitar.
And as you see, I indeed have a lot of junk. So yeah, that comes in handy. We selected this steampunk looking part to be one of the main parts of the build. First I had to disassemble it, so this part was kind of, well, not rusted shut, but you get the idea, look at this. Yum yum yum. Then I had to remove a part of it using my Dremel. We removed the black part because it was heavy and it would be bothersome. You would be hitting your fingers against it as you played. And now we're talking about what goes where, and so a lot of this design process was really deciding which part fits which part of the guitar to look cool and still be functional. So we decided to attach this ventilator blade on top of one of those regulation knobs. So these two pieces of the blade needed to go. And now I'm sanding off the cut so that the whole prop is safe and no one cuts themselves on the rough edges. Safety is important. On the right you see some pencil markings and also some markings going on right here. That's where we're gonna just chop off the parts of the guitar body. So here on the left in the picture you see where the top of the guitar is. That's where we're gonna just have a straight line, and on top of that we're gonna attach something really cool. We don't know what yet at this point. Probably should have attached those ventilator blades later on, not before doing the cut, but it still worked out just fine. And here you see us having dug out the melodic resonance device. It's a piece of a grandfather clock and the tactical spatula.
I'm not sure if you can tune the guitar with this. I think not. But it's cool.
So wood is really cool when you want to attach something to it. You just need some screws. So I'm gonna attach that plastic part on top of that. For that, you just see me drilling a hole through both that part and the wood, and then using the small screwdriver to fit a screw right in there. You see a small magnet on it, which helps to hold the screw before it's in the material. And here is the steampunk part, and it doesn't quite fit, so I'm using my Dremel and also my mini belt sander. And once that is done, the steampunk part will fit nicely on top of that, as you see here. So now it's time to add some metal bridges, which will connect the steampunk part to the rest of the guitar. I think the main reason behind those was cooler looks, because I could have connected it in an easier way. So yeah, it's trying to run away from me here. Need some better grip. There we go, nice and tight. Just using regular 3mm bolts and nuts, which I use for a lot of things. And now choosing an angle which is visually pleasing and holds nicely, and pre-drilling a hole and using a regular screw.
Yep.
And this big hole right here is gonna be for a piece of orange hose, which is gonna be purely decorative. You see I've tapered it down and I'm using some Insta-glue right there to hold it in the hole. And it's gonna be connected to the steampunk part with a bit of duct tape. It's not load bearing, all it needs to do is just stay there in place and be able to wobble around a bit, so it does that just fine. Not the most sturdy connection I ever did, but it works. And filing down some edges and corners here for safety, and also gonna give it a small bevel right here so the whole thing doesn't look so chopped off. So doing that along all of the edges which have just been cut on the scroll saw. Here's the tank. That used to be a piece of an office chair, and just spraying it orange now, and now gonna spray some stencil in white on top of that after the orange paint dries. We're gonna spray paint the entire body into this nice army green. And before the paint dries, just as in my permanent grunge effects for costumes video, putting some sand on top of that so it looks wastelanded. And now we're attaching some fret stencils, so it's gonna be fret numbers stenciled right on there. And it's a lot of fiddling, really. You see Jenny taping off all the spots which do not need to get any paint, but the effect is really cool. Check this out. So yeah, just spraying then, now adding some orange highlights to those regulation knobs, and look at this beautiful stenciled fret numbers effect. We didn't cut those stencils by hand. Cutting them with that level of precision would be crazy. What we did here is using a cutting plotter, which is a nice and relatively cheap device, so check out cutting plotters on the internet. Here you see us using those original knob covers from the guitar as spacers for this tank. And you see that on top of that tank there are bigger holes which fit my automatic screwdriver, and the screws are actually holding the bottom of the tank, so they're on the inside. And right here you see that this small screw in that butt part is holding this spring in place. And it's also gonna hold in place this orange hose right there, which looks like, you know, the tank is feeding into that butt part. And here is what it all looks like. Just like that. So looks like a protected hose. And what Jenny is doing here is applying some fabric wrapping onto those parts which we did not like quite that much. So that's a great tip for post-apocalyptic builds. If you don't like the looks of something, just wrap it up. And here I'm hammering 2 pieces of plywood into that butt part. And those plywood pieces are gonna act as filler, into which I then screw in that condensator part, also using some glue. And here comes the tactical spatula. So that is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna use 2 bolts with nuts to attach it to the headstock of the guitar. And what I had to do here was trim it down a bit. So on one side, just to make it, less tall, less thick, so that the bolts fit lengthwise. And also had to trim down the other side so it's flat, so that the contact surface is flat to the headstock, so it doesn't wobble. So Jenny is doing some guitar strings already, while I'm trying to outrun her before she attaches all of them by applying some of those insignia. Had to drill a hole smack dab in the middle of that star insignia, and then just using my small screwdriver And while Jenny is doing some more strings, I'm working on the belt system. So that's just a piece of a belt with a D-ring that attaches to it. And here I'm attaching the other part to the front receiver, to the whatever part of the, wanted to say rifle, whatever part of the guitar it is. And this belt just clips in like this. And it's also length adjustable. Yeah, works nice. And here is the melodic resonance device. So as I said, it's a part from a grandfather clock. That one fits really nicely, I think.
Awesome! This is so cool!
As you can hear, Jenny is really happy with the build so far. So now we're just attaching some final details. So she's doing this, some additional paint effects using a net and a sponge, as well as some details using a hot glue gun. And now you see me already dressing up as the pretty boy I am, preparing for the shooting that we did after that. Here's some bling bling, so really the final steps happening here right now, making the whole thing look a bit more authentic, a bit more wild. Jenny did really a fast bang up job there, burning her fingers a few times in the process, because we had to finish so fast.
Check it out, it actually makes sounds. Probably out of tune still, but at least it's making sounds.
It's working, guys! It's working!
She sounds surprised, and so was I. We didn't expect it to make any sound at all, but in fact she was able to tune it afterwards and go to a guitar convention with it, so it worked out really unexpectedly well.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We're tired as hell. It was a busy day.
It was.
And yeah, we're really happy with the result. Hope you enjoyed watching this video too. Subscribe to our channels and so on and so forth. Share it with your friends.
Have a good day, guys!
Bye-bye.
Bye!
Yeah, also support me on Patreon. Making these videos is a lot of work, so some help is really appreciated. Thank you so much. See you next time.